Hello and welcome to this new Q&A video here on the channel. I recently asked you on Instagram for your questions and I had really awesome questions from you guys, so I'm looking forward to getting into them and answering as many as possible. So the beginning is a combination of a question coming from Norden Airport and James 78 Hurst, because Norden asked, which model are you searching for? And James 78 Hurst asked, what is one model you've always wanted but never got? One model that I have been thinking of for a long time. I believe it was made by JC Wings. It's a 7878 of ANA. There is one in the standard livery, but that's not the one I'm thinking of. There is one in a special livery, and I believe that livery was to introduce the 787 into the ANA fleet. It has the large 787 writing at the front of the aircraft and then some like darker blue stripes or waves across the fuselage, and I really do like this livery. I haven't actively been searching for it, but if I come across it for a good price, I'd probably go for it. Then a quick question from James 78 Hurst. 787 or A350, and that's very easy. A350, it's the superior aircraft, and now I've pissed off a lot of people, but it is. Sorry. Very good question. Chris Vegas International asked, what is your next 1 to 500 airport project and when will we see it? So I've hinted at it a lot that, of course, I'm working on new projects. The next project that I haven't done before, so because the next airport update videos will be on Philadelphia, that's for sure, but the next project that I want to do afterwards is an airport based in Scandinavia. That I have mentioned before. The location I have been struggling with a lot. I've been moving around between locations, but I think I've pretty much come to terms and I want to do a fictional Scandinavian airport based at my hometown, so here in Esbjerg. Yeah, so that will be the next project with, I think, a good range of aircraft, single aisle, wide bodies. Because it will be a fictional setup, we can pretty much do the traffic we want. There will be some limitations that I set, but I think that can become a nice project. But to answer the top part of your question, when will we see it? As soon as possible. And I hate to always say this when I'm asked about when airport update episodes are coming, but I need time. I just need time to produce them. And at the moment, I have a massive backlog on videos that I have already filmed and haven't edited yet, both for this channel and my sister channel, Bongo Planes Does Aviation, where I do real-life aviation content, so spotting videos and trip reports and stuff like that. If you don't know that channel, check it out. I will leave a link to it in the video description below. I'd be really happy if I could get some episodes out before Christmas, but let's see. Celestine Uno asks simply airport setup advice. Which is very general, so but let's see what I can come up with. My first advice would be find a location you're happy with. Don't just jump into it, but take some time to find a location where you're happy with it. Figure out, do you want to do fictional traffic or real life traffic? Because that can also change a lot of things. Figure out if the models, if, for example, if you do an airport with traffic based on real life, figure out, are there models available to actually do that? You don't need to spend a whole lot of money on the airport itself. I mean, a plate doesn't need to cost a little bit of paint. You can build the buildings yourself, or you can get them built, or you can, a solution A for airport, for example, that's a neat one, especially when you don't want to have your setup up all the time. Yeah, I think those are some basic things. Figure out your location, figure out what kind of traffic you want to do there, and then have fun with it. Okay, so Johnny El Loco is trolling me a little bit here. He asks, a new 1 to 500 manufacturer enters the market, but only if Borussia Dortmund wins the championship. Do you take it? So if you don't know, I'm supporting the biggest rival of Borussia Dortmund, which is Schalke 04. But in this case, I think my passion for the Scale 500 community wins. So yes, I would take a new Scale 500 manufacturer if it meant that Borussia Dortmund is winning the championship. That's all right with me. And there's another question from Johnny Loco. Your new studio seems like an interesting building. What was its purpose in the past? Very good question. So I know that people have noticed like this, that it's surrounding, and have asked if it's a hangar, stuff like that. It's not, but it does have a round roof. In fact, it hasn't had a purpose before because it's actually brand new. It's newly built. So it's never been used for anything else than what I'm using it for right now, which is, well, a studio. So yeah, it's never been a hangar. It's never been used for anything else. It's just been used by me because it's brand new. Flynn's Plane Spotting asked me, are you coming to Australia soon? I'd love to, mate. I really do. But unfortunately, someone has placed Australia really far away from Europe. So yeah, it's far away and it's not that cheap to go there. But one day, for sure. Then we have a question from American FL550. How many 1 to 500 Hairpom models do you have? So I don't have a specific number on 1 to 500 Hairpom models. I actually even don't have a specific number at the moment for Scale 500 models. My number in total for models in general is, I think, now at 907. But that includes Scale 200 models. A few of them you see here in the background. There. And one Scale 400 model. The rest is then Scale 500, which means that I'll be at around 890-ish, I think. Yeah, Scale 500 models. And they, of course, then from Herpa, from Aero Classics, Sky 500 and JC Wings, and so on and so on. So yeah. Then a really interesting question from P. Batelka. Will you make any tutorial videos on how to make custom airplane models? Now, my simple answer to this question here is no. But the reason for that is not because I don't want to as such. I do know the principles behind how to make custom models, but knowing the principles on actually doing it, these are two different shoes. And I've never done any custom models myself. So I could make a video on doing it, but I mean, if I haven't got much experience in it, the result will not be very good. So I don't think there's much value in it. If I was really good at it, I would for sure make a video about it, but since I have no experience in actually doing it myself, there's just no, it just wouldn't make sense. So maybe someone else out there who's really good at it can make such a video, but unfortunately I won't be one of them. So another question from James78 Hurst. A model you really wanted and got, but was disappointed in it once you opened the box and had a look at it. I think the biggest disappointment, I mean, normally I have a pretty good idea about what to expect, not that I'm never surprised. But for example, the Cargolux Retro, which had the wrong mold, I did know that beforehand. The A350-1000 of Qatar in their one world livery, I did know that the print was wrong, that it was angled wrong. I bought these specifically to make reviews so that collectors could see that before they bought it if they didn't know. I think a model that did surprise me a bit was the German Air Force A350, which had very, very yellow wings. I don't think I really expected it to be that bad, and it was very, very bad. I think a more recent example, that would be the Lufthansa, the Dreamliner, because I wasn't really prepared that they had suddenly changed the white color to a wrong white tone. With the recent P2F, I was expecting them to keep on doing this nonsense, but I didn't think that they really would use the wrong white tone for the Lufthansa, because they've made so many Lufthansa models. There's no reason to suddenly make this mistake, but they did. So that was a disappointment. Yeah, I think those are two good examples. But most of the time, it's not like, yeah, it's not that I'm hugely disappointed with the models that I get, because if there's something wrong with it, most of the time I do know about it. Model Airport UK with a suggestion, I guess. You have some custom EasyJets. You should do an EasyJet Custom Fleet review on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I do this series, My Collection, where I go through various fleets that I have in my collections of airlines. It was born out of the request to show my entire collection, and because my collection was too big to have in one place, I split it up and basically work my way through my collection airline by airline. I mean, I guess my minimum is always to have, I think I've done one episode with 3 aircraft models, but I try to not have less than 4 models in such an episode. I do believe I have 4 EasyJet models, so in theory I could do it. I think I will wait a little bit, maybe I get some more in the future, and if I do, then I think that could be an interesting episode, but I will put it on my list for sure for some future episodes of my collection. Then Model Airport UK with another good question. What's your favorite custom model? What's my favorite custom model? So, I mean, I recently got 2 models at the Collectors Fair in Amsterdam from Custom Aviation Model Maker. I can never get the order of the words in the correct. I will put in the name here in the video. Shahab made these models for me, and I mean, he's the best in the business. So these are definitely the best models I have. That's the 737-800F of ASL and a Fly 1 A320. So there's no doubt these are the best custom models I have, but my favorite one, I really do like my Star Air 767-200F, which is decently made, but I've always wanted such a model, so I'm really happy that I have that in my collection now. Of course, I have to mention my Bongo Air fleet, my little fictional airline, the A310F of Bongo Air Cargo. I really like that model. That's really nice. And of course the A319 that I have of that. I have some ATRs. If we go favorite, Star Air, Bongo Air. Best ones, obviously, the ASL and the Fly 1. All right, so the next question remains in the realm of custom models. It comes from Briss Vegas International, who asked me, how many custom models do you have and what are they? So I think I have a roughly, I think 29. That's, I think, what I came up with when I tried to remember all of them. So yeah, 29-ish models, if we also take in some albino models. So basically some models where I have just removed or had removed the livery, so they're just white, plain white. And what are they? So I have a Shorts freighter of UK Night, a fictional airline done by Donlec. And I got that model from him, so I'm really happy about that because it's a lovely little Shorts freighter with a cool livery. But if we stay with the fictional, of course, I have my Bongo Air fleet, which consists of one A310F, one A319, and then I actually have 3 ATR 72, but a 4th does exist. That, however, is stationed with another collector who was so kind to create the livery for me. So as a token of my appreciation for his work, I had the 4th ATR delivered to him. Then other models that I have, I've made a little list here. West Atlantic 737-300F, ATP-F, West Atlantic. Then a FedEx operated by West Atlantic 737-800F. I have a FedEx ATR 72F, which I actually don't know who is operating it. I need to check up on the registration of that aircraft model. Then I have an ASL 737-800F and the Star Air 767-200F. Then I have 2 models of a airline, I believe they were called WDL, now known as German Airways. So in their previous livery, not the German Airways livery, but the one they had before, I have an E90 and an Avro 100. I might end up removing the markings of that, because then they would just be all white and I could use them for any other scenarios, but I don't know yet if I will do that. Then I have some EasyJet models, a 737-700, an A320 in the old standard livery, and then the A319 and A320 in the current livery. Furthermore, I have a Volotea A319, which I'm also quite happy about. I have a Fly Dubai 737-800. So of course Herpa released a MAX of Fly Dubai, but I have a 737-800. Then a Sun Express A320 and an Eastern Airways E90, the only E90 Eastern Airways has in their fleet. I have that as a custom model, which I'm very happy about. Furthermore, then we have the Japan Airlines 787 and A350 as custom models. I have a Be My Baby 737-300, which was heavily featured in my final season of Cardiff. And then as all white models, I have an E90, A330 and a 777F. And I believe those are the custom models I have. I might have forgotten one or two. Well, I just can't remember at the moment. And that leads us to the final question in this Q&A. It is also coming from Brist Vegas International. Will you endeavor to visit Herpa at Dietenhofen, which is the little town near Nuremberg where Herpa has their headquarters? And the very simple answer is yes, I will endeavor to do so. I met the product manager in person during the Collectors Fair in Amsterdam, which was quite interesting. I had a really interesting talk with him, both on camera and off camera. The on-camera stuff, the video might be already out or it is coming out shortly, so do keep your eyes peeled for that. But I do intend to keep in touch with them. And I did already, during the Collectors Fair, talk with the product manager about me maybe coming to visit them spring next year to do some video there with them. It's not set in stone yet, but I will definitely try if we can arrange something there. Find a day that works for everybody. So yes, I will definitely try to go there. I have actually been there before, but that was kind of incognito. But yeah, next time I'll go there officially as Bongo Planes, and I'll try to do some content from there. But that will conclude today's Q&A. Thank you very much for everyone who asked your question. I tried to answer as many as possible and as thorough as possible. I hope the video doesn't get too long. But in any case, if you like this type of content, don't forget to leave a like. I will do more Q&As in the future, so if your question didn't get asked, you can just try again there. With that, thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you soon another time here on the channel. Take care and bye.